Scarcity to abundance is what I want to share with you on today. I was just skimming through my book and I came across this page entitled Scarcity to Abundance. And so often, I think when we hear abundance, immediately people think of wealth, we think of money, you think of material possessions. But how do you think people get to material possessions? How do you think they get to that type of prosperity or being wealthy when it comes to riches, when it comes to money? First of all, we have to make sure that our mindset is not operating on a scarcity level, that if you've been in a place for so long where you've operated off of scarcity, you've had a poverty mindset. That mindset, the walls of that mindset has to be broken down. It makes it hard to elevate. Think about being on an elevator. You may be trying to get to the 5th floor, but the elevator gets stuck on the 2nd floor. When that elevator gets stuck, you go into panic mode. You start having anxiety. You become frustrated. You become scared. You just deal with all these mixed emotions, right? And in that moment, you really don't know what to do. So you just react to what's going on around you. Well, that's what happens when you don't rid yourself of a scarcity mindset. You get stuck. You have all of these dreams. You have all of these goals, but you get stuck, and then you have no idea what it means to elevate. You were excited that you did move off of ground level. You went up to the 1st floor, you went up to the 2nd floor, and you've been stuck there for so long, and you don't understand why for the life of me I cannot move. You're looking at everything around you has motion. You're looking at everybody around you. They're doing something spectacular. They're operating in their purpose, and it just seems like things are going well. Why are you sitting around? A scarcity mindset will tell you to stay in that state, being disappointed as if you don't need help. The people that you see and this motion that you see going on around you, why are you not researching things? Why are you not having conversations with these people? Get outside of your comfort zone. Do something different. Say something different, because otherwise you're going to stay stuck on that one floor, on that one dimension, on that one level. And it's time for us to level up. I was reminded when I was skimming through my book, the book is entitled Verified, but the page is entitled Scarcity to Abundance. And this is inspired by Matthew 25 and 23. So I want to share that with you real quick, if I can hold your attention, because I'm going somewhere with this, okay? So 23 reads, Matthew 25:23. His Lord said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things, and I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord." Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, "Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Look there, what you have, what is yours?" He thought he did a good thing. But his Lord answered and said to him, "You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth." God is clearly making it known that if he have given to you a gift, he have given to you a talent, but you are fearful. You are fearful of judgment. You are fearful of man. And he said, "I didn't give to you the spirit of fear." So you have hidden your talent. If you are one that has a beautiful voice and sing, but you have a fear of singing in front of people, you have fear of being judged, and so you're holding that gift back. And you may sing for a few people, but you're like, "Oh no, this ain't for the nation. This ain't for the community." Then God is going to hold you accountable for that gift, because that gift was meant to serve. That gift was meant to heal. That gift was meant to build someone up. That That gift was meant to help someone to soar. That gift was meant to bring someone out of a mental state that they couldn't come back from. You do not get to determine how that gift has to be stagnant, why this gift has to be buried. I know you may be one that's in your valley season, and I am saying this to you because I don't want you to allow the valley to bury you in that dark place, because that's the valley's job. The valley is doing only what it's supposed to do. Use that valley season to your advantage, seeing that I will grow in a dark place, seeing that I will blossom in a dark place, seeing that I will flourish in a dark place, because God has given to me that ability. So I'm going to use it to my advantage so that I can thrive. I don't want to become relaxed in this dark place. I don't want to come relaxed in this place where it feels that I can't elevate from this place. Instead, I'm going to be content, but I'm going to be happy while I'm making these strides in the valley, because I know that this too shall pass. But my focus is not that this too shall pass. My focus is thriving. My focus is growing. My focus is flourishing. My focus is learning why I'm having this valley experience. So this is why I wanted to share that with you, because 2025, we're coming from a place of scarcity to abundance. And this does not mean that if you are already in a place of abundance, that it is not for you. Because, baby, God is always making room for us to grow. Even if you are in your season of abundance, that's a scarcity season when God is calling you higher. So that means you got to bid farewell to a season that was abundant. You got to bid farewell to a season that was good to you for something greater. I share this dream all the time, where I'm climbing this tree. But in this dream, I'm always trying to fit in. I'm always trying to explain myself to people. But I knew that there was something great inside of me. So I had to step off into the wilderness. Remember, Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. And so I stepped off into the wilderness. I'm no comparison to Jesus, but we are made in his image. We are image bearers, meaning that our character is a reflection of his. What would Jesus do? And so I'm going into this valley season. I'm going into this wilderness where there's nobody else around but me. There's this patent tree with burlap, and it's perfectly carved with perfect circles. And I'm stepping into the circles, climbing my way up. And I remember as I'm climbing up, I'm looking down and I'm crying, because I said to God in the dream, I know this has to be you, because my steps are being light. They're getting light. As I go higher, I'm becoming lighter and lighter. And so I continued to go up. As I looked up, I seen this thick, brown substance coming from the top of the tree. And shortly after that, it was like streams of this white liquid coming down through this brown substance. I knew exactly what it was, because in the dream, I began to cry and I said to God, this is too much milk and honey. When God blesses you, he blesses you exceedingly and abundantly. But sometimes you got to walk away from your old season. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to make sense. When God gives to you a vision, it may not make sense. You have to part ways. You have to bid farewell so that you can elevate. I know it may seem like a bunch of turbulence ahead of you, but you got to bid farewell to people. You got to bid farewell to situations and circumstances, and you got to elevate. So that means walking into the wilderness alone. Maybe you have a fear of walking alone. Maybe you have a fear of stepping into the place that you are just calling God out in prayer for. And you're begging for this thing, but you're not willing to do what it takes to get to the top. And so God says, my presence should be dear to you. My presence should help you unfold from that place of fear, that place of I'm not enough, that place of I don't have enough, that place of I don't like being misjudged, that place of I don't like being misunderstood. That's faulty. That's not your identity. You'll never know who you are until you walk into the fullness. This man called the other man wicked and lazy because he hid what he could have profited off of. Don't hide your gift. People, yes, you will be prosecuted. You will be persecuted is what I meant to say. You will be talked about. You will have times where you feel lonely. But to whom much is given, much is required. It's not that God doesn't want you to be wealthy. It's not that God doesn't want you to have a good life. But for you to steward well what he has already ordained for you, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And you got to say to yourself, I bid farewell to my place of comfort. I bid farewell to the valley. I may have more valley seasons, but because I'm learning in my season of being in a valley, of complication, of darkness, I realize that I'm not dark. I'm not complicated. I have peace. I have joy. I have brilliance. I'm smart. I have a deep intellect. So just because everything around me is depressing, I'm not. I'm still going to flourish. I'm still going to be an example of God's glory. I have something inside of me that I'm not withholding. I'm letting it be an outpour so that I can serve others, that they too will see and utilize their gift that has not been exploded. It is in your valley season where you have a form of humility, that even when you get to the top and it seems that those formidable challenges, that seems intimidating, that seems terrifying, that you have already been shaped, you have already been molded for those things. So to be a good steward over wealth, over being financially stable, over great health, it requires being in a valley season. It requires coming out of your comfort zone. It requires breaking down the barriers of scarcity, letting go of that old mindset. That mindset, it may have worked on ground level, but as you're elevating, you have to change. There has to be a shift. Scarcity to abundance. 2025, I decree and declare that for you. There's a bullet point that I want to share with you, that taking thoughtful steps, that as you are climbing, the essential qualities emerging during the foundational stages. That just simply means that essential qualities are becoming visible. The reason you couldn't see those qualities is because you had a scarcity mindset. So while you're in your valley season, do not despise your small beginnings, because it is in that season that teaches you to build a foundation that will uphold you when you get to the top, when you're operating in a greater purpose. So it's needed. And these essential qualities are made known while you are emerging. You can't just go to the top and you didn't gain no resilience. You didn't have no emotional intelligence. You didn't prioritize God. Now you don't have a spiritual insight. You can't see beyond the world system. So you're just going by what everybody else is doing. You don't know that you're set apart because you went straight to the top and you seen a way to get there. So you compromise yourself because you wanted it speedily and you didn't want to go through your valley season. How did things turn out? Now the outcome looks nothing like what you desire. The outcome looks nothing like what you envisioned for yourself because you aborted the season that you thought was really not meant for you to endure. When we abort those challenges, when we abort our valley season, then we're not being stretched. What are we learning? If everything is always good and everything is always easy, there is something that has to have you in a state where you feel pressured sometimes. Because when you are put under pressure, now your mind begins to wonder. Now you get up out of a place because I'm ready to take a risk. I'm not going to be cautious and I'm not going to hide this gift. Because if I hide this gift, then I'll never become profitable. If I hide this gift, my gift will never make room for me. In some of us, the scarcity mindset tells us that, oh, my gift is what's going to get me rich. Oh, my gift is what's going to get me popping. Your gift, God says, will make room for you. So he gives to us gifts. He gives to us skills so that people can experience us, because it's something greater on the inside of us that will open up an opportunity that you have yet to imagine. All you know is your gift. So you're just depending on that gift. Prioritize God to know that there is something beyond that gift. Prioritize God so that he can give you insight to know that your profitable match is beyond ground level. And I'm bringing you up out of a place of scarcity. Because now you can't even function there because that's not where you're supposed to be. You're out of season. You're out of pocket. When God is saying, yeah, you're supposed to be up here, but your fear still has you there. Your scarcity mindset still have you there. Break down those barriers. Break those patterns. Break those habits. And say, I'm coming out 2025. The next bullet point, I'm not going to hold you long. Lacking sustenance. Lacking sustenance. For instance, having great wealth without the proper sustenance can leave you vulnerable in areas where resilience is essential. This is God's way of equipping you to manage greater abundance efficiently. Wisdom and knowledge enhance your understanding, and it broadens your interest. I think it's in the book of Colossians where it says, in him. I think it's in him, the treasures, all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Yes, there are some brilliant people in this world. But some of these brilliant people in this world have no character. They have no loyalty. They have no empathy. They have no respect for others. And everything that they are building is solely for themselves. And it's not to help anybody else. God is looking for one that will go through the valley. And he wants you to go through so you'll get the proper sustenance that you need. So you're not left in a vulnerable state. Let me break that down. When you lack sustenance, that means that maybe you're in a season where you're trying to build something, but you lack support. You lack livelihood. We do need supporters, in fact. But if you're in a season where you don't have it, it's only for a little while. That season is not forever. So don't let it bury you because you're so stuck on your circumstance. You're so stuck on your condition. Oh, I can't do this. I don't have any support. There's no way God could have given me this dream. How am I going to come out of this? How am I going to establish this? How is this going to be made manifest? Through man, it's impossible. But through God, all things are possible. The elevation means prioritizing God, prioritizing Christ. You're looking at someone that may be elevated, but you see even the fruit of their lips has no character. Their heart has no empathy. They have no respect, no honor, no loyalty. Is that how you want to gain your prosperity? Is that how you want to gain wealth? Then so be it. Because when God blesses you, he blesses you whole, lacking nothing. This is why he tells you not to despise small beginnings. Because he builds abundance in you, exceedingly, above all that you can imagine or think. Character is important. If you don't have character, that's scarcity. If you don't have loyalty, empathy, self-respect, honor, that's scarcity. You have no integrity. It is needed. If you operate off of fear and you don't know how to rid yourself of fear, quite naturally, you're not going deeper into building a relationship with God because he'll break down that wall of fear. You'll do it scared, only to realize that, wow, I didn't realize I was this resilient. That when I stand up to fear and confront it, I embrace it, that fear is not really a giant. And you can pack it under your feet. Go through that season of not having support. I thought that my family would be here for me. I thought that my friends would be here for me. No one may understand the vision. Think about it. I just told you about a dream that I had. And I had to walk away from everyone and everything and go into a season in the wilderness where there was no one around. When I walked away with my head bowed down. Sad. Why? Because I had a mind of scarcity that I needed the things that was around me. Yes, everybody needs somebody. But when you prioritize a relationship with God, he would teach you that there's a season for everything under the heaven. That just maybe for a little while, you got to be alone. Because if you always got someone in your ear, then you don't know how to operate without someone telling you what to do. If you always got someone making you feel warm, then you think that you don't know how to operate. You don't love yourself. You don't even know who you are. And you lack leadership skill. If you want something bigger than who you are and where you are right now, you got to go through something to obtain leadership skills. Not leadership skills is not someone always telling you what to do. However, we need that. But what if you're lacking leadership skills because you're afraid to make decisions on your own? You're afraid to solve a problem on your own. You're afraid to trust in what's on the inside of you on your own. Those are the essential qualities that you're missing out on. That's scarcity. That's a poverty mindset. And we got to break free from it. The last bullet point is embrace risk. So God encourages us to strive for excellence by starting small. Zechariah 4:10, as the method allows us to move beyond a cautious mindset and embrace risk. He recognizes the potential for greatness within us. This change in perspective shifts our view from scarcity to abundance, as emphasized in Ephesians 3:20, that God blesses us exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask or think. If you have a cautious mindset over embracing risk, and I'm not telling you just to make foolish decisions, but if you are allowing fear to keep you stuck on that elevator, and you're so cautious to being stuck, then that's exactly where you'll be this time next year. And if you have a fear of moving forward, or if you have no clue how to move forward, if you have no idea how to profit, start by relinquishing your control to say, just maybe, I am holding on to obsolete information. Maybe I am holding on to a scarcity mindset. Maybe I am just, people keep telling me and I'm blue in the face because I feel like I had all the answers. Sometimes we have to face the truth because you're tired of being stuck on that elevator. When in reality, the elevator is supposed to take you up. But are you willing to walk away from some things? Are you willing to walk away from some people? Are you willing to break down barriers of your old scarcity mindset? Are you willing to walk away from being cautious to risk and take risk, embrace risk? Some of us are holding on just like that man did in the scripture. He was holding on to that money for dear life, thinking this man was going to say, well done. And you're holding on. Some of you probably saying, well, oh, I got this bill I need to pay. You holding on to those little few $100s. When the next month you're going to need that same amount again. Take a risk. It's not the end of the world. We don't know when it's going to come. But you're still here. You're still breathing. Take a risk. Invest in something. You're probably saying, well, I want to do that, but I can't do it right now. Well, when is the right time? Because you're going to keep having those same old bills. You're going to keep having those same circumstances if you don't take a risk. Maybe you are fortunate and you have money, but you don't have the tenacity to step out of a place of fear. Maybe you are gullible and you just trust everybody. And now everybody's used to this gullible personality that you have, this gullible demeanor that you have, and you don't know how else to be. The truth is, you know exactly how to be, but you're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of rejection. It's detecting that it's something inside of you that you need to free yourself from. And it's hidden and it's camouflaged. Scarcity is hidden inside of you. People pleasing is hidden inside of you. That will keep you stuck. That will prolong your time of getting to destiny. Knocking on the door of opportunity. Because when you knock on the door of opportunity and it's your time, that door is going to be open. But if you can't elevate to get to that door, if you can't elevate to reach that shelf, to get off of it what belongs to you, then you're going to stay stuck. And you're going to think God is just this despicable God because he's not giving it to you. Well, baby, you got to be a good steward over these things. That master, he was mad at that man because he buried his money. He said, yeah, you knew my plan. You knew I would gather a harvest from where I didn't sow or where I haven't scattered seed. Because I'm brilliant. I understand that if I have $200 and I put it in the bank, that is going to gain interest just by sitting there. What are you doing with the profit that is within you? You're sitting here right now listening to me, and you probably, even after hearing all of this, you're saying, well, I don't have no money. Do you have a gift? Are you burying that gift? Are you hiding that gift? Do you have a platform? Oh, nobody's watching. Log on to whatever platform, gain your audience. If God gave you that gift, there's a people for that gift that you need to serve. And if it's only one or two people, keep serving. And while you are serving, guess what's happening? You are emerging into these essential qualities that are becoming visible to you. And now something triggered. Oh, wow, I didn't know that's how it worked. I thought, it was just going to be this special magical moment. No, faith without work is dead. Don't expect anything if you're not doing anything. Free yourself of that scarcity mindset so you can get to the abundance. Welcome to 2025. I cannot wait to see you at the top of